Governor Snyder joins us now. Congratulations to you on a big victory last night. You campaigned on economic and fiscal recovery. We know the polls really tightened as that race got closer last night. It was really going to depend on the undecideds. Why did they come out and lead you to the victory, do you think?
Well, I appreciate it. Well, I think they looked beyond just the TV ads, because that was a big part of it. Is there was a huge amount of special interest money that came into Michigan, and we had to be open. There were a lot of lies about my record, and when you have lies going on with millions of dollars behind it, it was difficult to overcome, but we got out and told the truth, and I'm proud of my record, and I think Michiganders saw that and the importance, because ask yourself the question, do you see a better Michigan today than 4 years ago? I think most Michiganders do, and let's accelerate that. That's what I'm excited to do in the second term.
And I know you're excited. People want to know what the agenda is on the second term.
Yeah.
You have 4 more years. You've talked about reinventing the state and keeping us going in the right direction. What does that look like to you as governor for the next 4 years?
Sure, 3 key themes. More and better jobs, let's continue that. And the big opportunity there is particularly in the skilled trades, which is everything from manufacturing through agriculture today. There are tens of thousands of open jobs that are not being filled because people need additional training. This is a huge national problem. And I want Michigan to be #1 in correcting that issue. Quite a few years ago, we sort of told everyone they should get a university degree. And I never want to discourage that. But we broke another track, and we need an equally important, equally honorable track for career tech education for these skilled trades jobs. And they're out there. So let's be #1 in that. Education, we've got great opportunities to keep going. I'm proud of what we've done in preschool, but we need to do much more in 3rd grade reading in terms of showing kids can read by 3rd grade. And then for college, let's work on that whole issue, whether it's career tech ed or university, on dual enrollment, about how we can bring down those cost structures and be more innovative there. Good government, let's keep balancing budgets, let's keep paying down our debt, and let's continue to have a great system that works well there.
I didn't hear you mention roads there, and if you ask people in this state what one of their #1 concerns is, it is roads.
Well, actually, what I'll tell you, JoAnne, I'm fired up about that. I want to make that a first-term accomplishment.
Okay.
So I really view that.
So you've got a couple months left, not a lot of time.
You said second term,
that's
so that's
true. Okay,
so
fair enough.
I really view that as something I'd like to get done in lame duck. That should be the top priority in lame duck.
Talk about, though, why it didn't get done before, because a lot of disappointment back in June and whatnot, and even millages, even local communities putting up millages to try to fix the problems on their own when the state should be doing this.
Anytime you want to raise revenue, it's a very difficult issue for legislators to support. I've been behind this for a couple of years. Last year's pothole season started getting legislators' attention. So we came very close to getting it done, but it was still too hard because we were just months away from both a primary and a general election. So we had some Democratic and Republican legislators that couldn't bring themselves to vote for it then. That was the constraint. The election's coming up. The elections are gone now. So we have several legislative days. Let's get this package done.
How are we going to do it? How are we going to pay for it?
Yeah, it's really a combination of things. And the elements of the package were pretty well defined. It talks about moving from a cents per gallon retail tax to a wholesale percentage that would raise a fair amount of revenue. It would also include phasing out some reductions in registration fees, not increasing the fees, but there's some phase downs that we could eliminate or shorten. And then the third piece is about trucks in terms of looking at how much they pay for our roads. The other part that I'd like to see as part of it is some tax relief for lower income people to help offset the burden of that additional revenue cost. So there's a package there that I hope we could get approved.
You're confident that by the end of the year it'll be passed?
Well, again, logically it should be, because again, the election was the primary constraint. It's not there anymore. Let's get something done.
You know, we talk about jobs added in this state, and that's very important to you. A number of the jobs that have been added have come in the automotive industry, as their comeback has been accelerated, if you will. How do you bring other jobs to the state of Michigan, not necessarily even in the automotive industry?
Yeah, well, to put it in context, and this is where I'm happy to get information out to people. If you looked at total number of jobs created in the private sector in the last 4 years, we ranked #5 of the 50 states. That's huge. And then when you look at where those jobs are coming from, it's great to see the auto industry coming back. That only accounts for 13% of that job increase. Only 30% in manufacturing. 70% of the jobs we added in the last 4 years are outside of manufacturing. So I don't want to walk away from the auto industry. I don't want to walk away from manufacturing. But we are seeing a broad-based recovery already, and let's accelerate that across the board.
A lot of people happy with what you did in Detroit. A big decision coming up Friday.
Yeah,
Judge
Friday's
Rose
a big day.
ruling on the plan of adjustment for Detroit's bankruptcy. Where do you see Detroit a year from now?
Continuing to grow. That's the exciting part. If you look at it, the bankruptcy is an issue we had to get resolved in terms of the financial affairs of the city. Hopefully we'll see a positive outcome on Friday. I think people are feeling good about it. And then once that's done and we get through the effective date, I'm be happy to partner with the mayor and the city council. They should be running the city. Let them take the lead on that. I want to be a supportive partner, and we should all be focused on growing the city of Detroit. The part in particular I want to make sure we emphasize, because Midtown and downtown already have some great things, are the neighborhoods.
How do you do that, though, from a state level?
Well, again, we've done a lot of things. We helped get the lights back on. We helped get the trash picked up. We're doing public safety, the blight removal. We can continue all that, but other things to work on, in particular, are job creation. We've got a great program called Community Ventures to help structurally unemployed people. We've been partnering with Focus Hope on that and other organizations. Let's increase those programs, and let's do more of this career tech education I've been talking about within the city limits, because those jobs are there.
Republicans had a big night last night nationally. A lot of governors' races. You were reelected. A lot of other states elected governors or reelected them. And the Republicans overtook the Senate. Your thoughts on what happened last night and what the country and voters were saying?
Well, I think it's a strong statement to say we need improvement. Again, in Michigan, it was continuing the reinvention. At Washington, they're broken, and the place is a mess. And so we need more results out of Washington. I don't view it as a partisan issue in terms of looking at one party or the other. Collectively, both parties, everyone needs to get together to say, why don't they try what we do in Michigan? Stop blaming one another, stop fighting with one another, and actually take care of the citizens. Yeah. So let's see that happen in Washington, and we're a good role model for that here in Michigan.
Any desires for 2016 on a more national level?
I'm not looking at that. I'm happy to be reelected, and I'm excited to be governor of Michigan. There are a lot of great things I want to work on.